Whether your goal is to conquer Mount Everest or simply get ahead at work, sometimes it can be challenging to be productive or at least understand why you're not. Here with how to be more of a productivity powerhouse is a productivity powerhouse, Inc. magazine editor-in-chief, Eric Schurenberg. Welcome and thanks for coming in. It's always so nice to have you here.
My pleasure, Gerri.
So you said something interesting, I thought, before we came to air here about how for some executives in particular and people who run small businesses, it's hard to know when you're being productive because your goals are sort of amorphous.
Yes, that's right. I mean, it's easy when you just have to tick things off. But when what you really ought to be doing is strategizing, kind of blue sky thinking, it's hard to take a lot of satisfaction in that. And yet, that's what you need to do.
If you're an entrepreneur, it can be hard to know. If your goal is to run a 10K, you run the 10K and you're done, right?
Right. Or check boxes off in an operations kind of job. But that's not what entrepreneurship is about.
No, you got to do the big think. All right, you've got some ideas for us.
All right.
Ways to get better at this.
All right. So productivity apps. You know, there's an app for everything. There are 4 apps that we identified for productivity. The first is called IFTTT, standing for if this, then that.
If this, then that.
Okay. And it's automation product. That's an automation app. And what it does is it answers that question, if this, then that. So if email comes from my boss, send it to Evernote automatically, so you become more productive.
I am a big Evernote fan. So if I tweet something, maybe I could also post it on Facebook at the same time.
That's right. It would be that app would help you do that very productively.
All right, so that makes a lot of sense, and really having to do this a million times is really a pain in the butt. So one of the funny ones you had is iCuckoo charity alarm clock. I am not a fan. I want to be on the record. You can explain.
All right. So this is an alarm clock on your phone, and if you don't get up, it automatically makes a donation to a charity of your choice. So it gives a whole new meaning to if you snooze, you lose.
All right, Workflow?
Workflow is another automation app. And what it does is string together apps. So you can do something more complicated. So just with the press of a button. So you go to your phone, look at a button, you have a Workflow button. It says, find the way home. That's all you have to do. You don't have to scroll through all your navigation apps. Find the way home.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so easy peasy. And then is there something called Timeful?
Timeful is like having an assistant to schedule your calendar. So you just say to the app, I would like to go to yoga class sometime in the next 2 weeks. It finds the time, it schedules it, it reminds you.
Wow, I like that. Okay, I have to ask you this on a personal level because you are somebody, in my view, who gets stuff done. Always have been. I've known you a long time. So what is your trick to doing that?
It is having a staff that nags me no end to get stuff in.
Come on now. You can't push it off on your staff. There must be something in your makeup, in your brain, in the way you operate that helps you get everything organized and done.
Gee, Gerri, thanks for the compliment. But I will say that what our research showed us when we wrote this story was that productivity really is all in your head. And if you take nothing away from this conversation, it's throw out the to-do list. It's too easy to game, and it doesn't really make you more productive. If there's a list that you really wanted to have, it's not a to-do list, it's a have-done list. So at the end of the day, tote up what you did. You'll feel better, you'll feel more productive, and in fact, because you feel good about it, you'll be more productive the next day.
I like that. Okay, Eric, I'm going to try that. Have done, not to do. The to do gets pushed and pushed and pushed. All right. Thanks, Eric.